Hello.
Hi, friends. So here's the episode. If y'all heard at the end of the last episode where we were debating on whether or not to talk about our
Yeah.
ghost hunting adventure that we had on that episode or another episode, here it is.
Yeah.
And we phoned in a friend. And
Yeah.
this is Josh. Josh went with us. Say
Hi,
hi.
guys.
He says hi. Uh, he's, if he sounds weird, he's on speakerphone, literally right in the phone. I mean,
Yeah.
right in the mic. So.
She's doubled up. She's got the tripod with the phone on it.
On the mic with the boom.
And
I can't
if
move.
also if you listen to the last episode, you heard that I had gardened and it's kicked in now, so this is gonna be fun.
She had also gardened the night we did this, so
Yeah.
reliving. So we decided on a whim, we planned it, but
Yeah.
one night I was just
I was
like, I
gonna
want to
say,
go ghost hunting.
You literally planned it.
Yeah, well, there was like one night where I was like, I want to go ghost hunting, and then we were like, we should go, and then we planned it. Like, this is the only time we've ever planned a ghost hunting trip. Usually it's like that night we're like, we're going, let's
Yeah.
just go. But
We're
we planned
bored
it.
and we don't have anything else to do, so
Right.
let's go do it.
So we go, and
you tried to talk yourself out of it.
I really did. I don't even remember why.
You said you had a bad feeling about it.
Oh, I did.
And then I'm just like, it'll probably be fine.
Earlier in the day.
I didn't feel good about it.
And listen, we had the best time.
It was a good time.
It was.
It was probably one of the most successful ghost hunting trips we've ever had.
Yeah. Like, to the point that, like, Daniel, who, when him and I got together, no such thing as ghosts. That's laughable. That is, he's just like, no, that's insane to believe. Now look at him.
Right.
Either he's insane too, or he's starting to believe a little.
Right. Well, so we saw stuff. Brittany and I heard stuff. Definitely felt stuff. So we started out the night. I went and picked Josh up. We came over here, grabbed you. Did we go straight to the shop?
No.
No, we drove past the one.
Yeah.
We don't give names.
Yeah. But, yeah, we went that one down in the little gully. That one wasn't giving the vibes.
That time.
Yeah, when we first passed it didn't seem like it was super active at all.
Because we ended up circling back and driving back past it
Yeah.
the second time, and it did kind of that time.
Yeah.
But the first time we went by, it didn't give much. And if y'all have listened to previous episodes, this is the same place that has the statue
Yeah.
that will turn its head.
It moves.
It's creepy.
And it really there wasn't much to it the first time we went by. So then we left there and we went to Brittany's place of employment. And
did we go there or did we go out to the one that we hadn't been to in a while first? Or did we do that
second, and then we drove out?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we were
remember, we went to, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So we went to the shop second.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
were
you're
there
right.
quite a while.
We were there for quite a while. Because, and at first, nothing was really, not too much.
We've gone there before and we've gotten plenty of stuff over in the other side of it.
Yeah.
But this time there really wasn't a whole lot in the other side.
No.
There was some feelings.
Right.
But it wasn't anything major. It was over on y'all's side.
Right. Because, like, while we were over on the other side, the flower shop side, I kept, like, it felt like I was seeing something, like, peek over the back of the couch we have.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of, like, alerted to that. And then we went in there and we sat down.
I sat on the couch. You sat in the chair.
And it was the strangest. I still can't quite wrap my mind around that experience.
Well, it was like, Josh, what did you feel?
Usually, I mean, the last time we went over there, the flower shop side was the real heavy side that felt not happy that we were there. That wasn't there this time. And this time on the Brittany side, it was almost jovial. I don't know, kind of fun and uplifting kind of a feel. Not heavy or angry or mean in any way.
When I sat down on the couch, we had brought a pendulum with us, and we were trying to get responses on that, but we really got nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it would move every once in a blue moon, but it wasn't anything of consequence.
Right. And we did have it on a stand, too, so we weren't holding it at all.
But, like, I sat on the couch, and it was, like, the first thing that I really experienced was, like, big. It wasn't heavy. It wasn't mean. It was just a big presence that almost like it was a big, physically big person, but also with a big personality.
Right.
And it overwhelmed me so much that I was in tears at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I was scared, not because I was sad, but because it was just so much to take in.
Mm-hmm.
But it was standing behind me.
Yeah.
And like my face kept feeling like it was on fire. And it was one side of my face felt like it was on fire. It was weird. And so then we're sitting there and I'm feeling this. Josh kept going behind me to see if he could feel it. Didn't you say it was a little colder back there?
It was colder behind you. There was a certain spot that I hit that my chest and shoulders kind of tightened up. My face got hot, but my chest got cold and tight. But with what Chelsea's saying, it was, if you can imagine something of like a big country boy Santa Claus is how it felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, didn't he shaped like Santa Claus? To me, I was visualizing dark hair.
Yeah.
I hate it. I was picking up overalls, but I feel like that's a common theme. But also, we live in
considering
the
where
sticks.
we live and the generation that would be.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
But then we're sitting there, and then I'm like, it's kind of quiet, but I'm like, I'm hearing. It was the weirdest thing. It was so weird because I have experienced things similar, but nothing like this. Like, it was like a radio was playing. There was music, and it was like old school country, like think Hank Sr. Like, it was, but it was like in the room with us, but it was in the distance all at the same time. It was like, for lack of better way to put it, it was like in the same room, but on another side of a veil. Like, we can't quite hear exactly what's going on. And so I said, do y'all hear music? Josh could not hear it.
And I literally went, oh.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting now, from my experience, like I was sitting in the rocking chair. And I had gardened, and so I'm sitting there, and it's not atypical for me to like have auditory hallucinations when taking a gummy. So I'm hearing music from what sounds like it's like a radio that's on in the next room. And I was like, okay, I just thought it was the gummy. And then you said that what I was saying out loud, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Is it quite possible that this maybe, this is a little bit hoo-hoo, but like, the gummy has like dropped some sort of veil for me, or, barrier, whatever.
Right.
And, I'm able to like, that's what I'm hearing when I'm hearing stuff is like, my wall has dropped a little bit so I can experience more than I would normally.
Right.
Because I thought I was just hearing shit and I was just ignoring it. And then you said something out loud and like validated what I was hearing. And you had no idea that I was hearing it.
No.
So
it was the craziest, but it was like I could hear music, but I could also hear like a crowd of people.
Yeah.
And then every so often, over all of that, you would hear like a man's voice, like he was announcing something.
Yeah.
So then when I'm speaking all of this to you, you're telling me that this location is where they used to have cakewalks and
Yeah.
dances.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
it's like
the
a
audio
dance
clip.
hall.
But yeah.
Brittany has an audio clip from back then of what it used to be.
I'm trying to
And
get
it's
it.
very, very, very much so what we heard.
Right.
And so, you know, they'd have food and stuff. So in that same room that we're in, there used to be a window that's now covered where there's a kitchen on the other side of that window where they would cook food.
Yeah, like hamburgers. Hot
We
dogs,
did not
that
know
kind of
that.
stuff.
And then what did you say, Josh?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I was sitting there walking around behind Chelsea, and then it hit me that I was smelling like French fries or just anything fried.
Yeah.
And I just kept getting, the stronger the smell was when I got closer to that window.
Did you get it? I saw you. Did you get the clip?
No, not yet.
But yeah, it was that I never smelled that until we got back in my car. I did smell it when we got back in my car, and that was weird.
Yeah, I thought that was odd too, that we were outside of the building in your car, and that's when it hit you.
Yeah. But then also there was a spot that we walked to, and it was that spot specifically where we felt like we were like being hugged or put in a headlock. It was weird, but not like in a mean headlock, like just loving on you.
Bear hug.
Yeah. It was very, very strong. But that's the most we have ever gotten in your shop. I might have that.
And
I can't get to it.
I was going to say, I mean, if you can like get to your messages and forward it to me, because he's not responding. It says active now, but he's not responding.
Hold on.
I'm going to say, Danny showed me the clip, but
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to send it to me, but he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's in the shower. I don't know what he's doing.
He better stay awake because I got to drop stuff off to him on my way home.
I can give you the garage code.
Hold on. I'm getting there.
But
What is... Did he... Oh, okay. There it is. There.
but yeah, like I don't know. That whole experience was so weird. Okay.
Hold it around the front of the mic.
Alright.
That is exactly what I heard.
Yeah. And that is exactly because I was like, it sounded like there was like music playing, but somebody, trying to talk over it. And I don't know, it was just such.
It was interesting. Like,
Yeah.
I've never picked anything up like that.
Right.
And then also sitting on that couch, Josh and I both experienced like a tiny little old woman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't you say that the side of your face felt real hot too?
yeah, at one point in time, I pulled a chair over to where Chelsea and Brittany were sitting, and just one side of my body felt incredibly hot, facing Chelsea, and what she was feeling is like it was sitting between us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the tiniest, it was the complete opposite energy or feeling from the other big guy that we felt. It was the tiniest person possible. Like I felt like I could pick her up.
It was nuts. Like I went home that night feeling so validated.
Right. Yeah. That was probably like the coolest experience I've had. Now, granted, I still have to work in this building every day, but it's not bad during the day. It's
and it's not even like it's because we discussed it. It's not even like
and it's not
like
scary at all.
No, it's
just,
literally just like that energy is still there from all that fun that those people were having.
Right.
That energy is still there and it's still present.
Right. See, because because that's like what I said was, maybe, everybody that's been in this building, a little bit of their essence gets left behind. Anybody that's had like fun times or whatever in this building, because a lot of people had a lot of good times in that building. And So it makes sense that a little bit of their essence would be left behind. And then when they pass, that little bit of, it's like like a match lit or whatever. And then, some nights they just party when
partying.
nobody's there.
Can
and
you
it's
imagine?
And because it's not like, it's not like something you're visually seeing or something. And it's just that like distant sound. That's what gives me that just like essence vibe.
Right. Can you
And
imagine
not-
that when y'all are long gone, y'all have spent so much time there,
Right.
especially Daniel, and
Yeah.
the fact that what he's going to be,
grown up in that building.
what will be left behind for the people that occupy that building after y'all are gone is farts.
True.
I was going to say, Brittany and Danny yelling at each other
True.
about something.
Right.
And
Or
squawks.
and
It's squawks
Slick
from Slick.
squawks.
Oh, yeah. So Slick started responding to something that was
Yeah. Yeah, because for the most part, he was sitting quiet.
Yeah.
He
It
seemed
was
like
past
he
his
was asleep, and all of
bedtime.
a sudden he'd get super active in his bird cage. It was crazy.
It was nuts.
And like, as someone who's around him as much as I am, like that's, if he's in there content and cool, even when like people are in the shop, he's sitting there and he's quiet and he's content. Like he might do a little chirp every once in a while, but like he was like pacing and would get visibly upset. And that's like what he does when we tell him we're leaving. Like we'll say, bye, Slick. And then he starts to pace and it makes me sad. It makes me want to bring him home. But he's so old. He'd probably be so scared and croak on the way over here. And then heaven help he see one of the cats.
Oh, gosh.
That's a predator.
Lord. But, so we left there, and then we rode to that one cemetery that's like literally right behind that church that has the road that goes through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's cameras!
We booked it out of there.
But then I looked in that window and I got like that awful feeling.
There's something, their vibes are off with that place.
It's a heavy feeling around that church.
Yeah.
And then we went to...
Bye, Mara.
Middle of nowhere.
Was it the middle of nowhere or was it the one in town first?
We did middle of nowhere and then in town and then down in the gully on the way back to Britain.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the middle of nowhere is the one that we've previously discussed that I took somebody else with me and we established that what I was feeling was a demon.
Yeah.
So we pulled up and this is the first time that I have gone there since. And
I've never been. Like we talked about it the last time we all went ghost hunting, but I've never actually been to this one.
We pulled up and I refused to look beside the car because he was at the window and he's screaming. And then it was like looking out the windshield, it was like the road in front of us was getting longer and longer and longer and longer. Like I'm sure I was having like a mini panic attack or something, but like it was scary. And then you guys noticed that it felt like the car was rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the car was rocking back and forth, like someone was standing on our side of it, pushing.
Y'all were cemetery side. I was roadside.
Yeah.
It's the way we put ourselves in some scary situations.
I never felt the demon or whatever Chelsea was picking up, other than the car moving. I did pick up on everything else that was in the cemetery past the fence.
We saw the face.
I kept seeing things like bounce back and forth behind gravestones and things like that.
We saw the face right next to the sign.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was a face that was like peering around the sign at us.
It was almost distorted. It was almost like that painting.
Mm-hmm.
What is that painting with the screaming man?
Oh, the Scream. Yeah, the
yeah.
Scream Man.
It almost looked like that.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, the face was kind of elongated. The eyes were big and open, but like hollow.
Yeah, it's giving me the willies.
Yeah.
But yeah, the moving around in the cemetery is what I saw most.
Yeah.
It was just like shadows, and it was never anything that I was looking at directly. It was always off to the sides and peripherals.
I never physically see things. I can see things with my mind's eye, but I never physically see things until that night.
Yeah.
When we saw the face and you could see all the movement. And then when we left there and went to the one in the middle of the town, we saw, and it's funny that we're bringing this up tonight because I thought about it today. When we first got there and I backed into that parking lot and had the headlights out and we saw that pacing under that tree.
Yeah.
Was it pacing at a rate in which someone would be hanging?
You know?
I mean, maybe.
I thought about that today. I was like,
that's a creepier thought than just someone pacing back and forth into the tree.
Because they were pacing at a brisk rate, like they were very agitated.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like we were thrashing our arms or anything. It was literally just a back and forth pace. But then because I was thinking about it today. I don't even remember why I thought about it, but I was thinking about it today and I was like, it was under a tree that looked like it could have been used for such matters.
Was this
that tree was absolutely used for that? I mean,
right by that street light that's in that yard behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm at my brain's at the same location. So yes, I'm following.
We got chased out.
Yeah.
Remember the one time that Danny went with us?
Yeah, that's the reason why he can't go with us anymore.
He's banned.
He's banned. He's worse than Zach Bagans.
But
he definitely upsets some things.
Yeah. But that cemetery, so that one, from a historic of having a memory bank of the history of our town. So that cemetery, and specifically closer to that area, is where like the county's first church was. Yeah. And that was like their courthouse, everything. So, I mean, it would make sense that if there was going to be something like that, that's where it would be.
I'm telling you, at the rate that pacing was happening, it was at the rate of one that would be swinging.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. I can see that.
Yeah.
But
that's,
we still have that building.
Where?
It's in storage. It's dismantled and in storage.
Oh.
So, the like log cabin that used to sit across from the elementary school?
The one that they just recently took down? Within the past couple of years?
Yes, I believe so.
It sat empty forever and ever. And like there's what used to be the flower shop, and then the newer, and then in that little cut out of a lot, there was a tiny little house.
Yeah.
And they just, within the past 5 years, took it down.
Log cabin?
I don't remember if it was a log cabin or not.
It would have been a log cabin.
It was on this side of the little driveway that's next to the storage.
I'm trying. Yeah, that sounds about right. About the right area. Anyway, that's the building.
Oh. Yeah. That building did always give me the creeps.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
It's in storage where?
It's somewhere in the county in storage.
Oh.
They dismantled it and put it into storage.
That building, because I just thought it was a house, it's been empty for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. But yeah, it was the first church, first courthouse.
We all went to that elementary school, for God's sake.
Right. So if you pull up from like the 4-way section where there's like the sheriff's department, and then you've got the flower shop, and then the newer.
I haven't been up there in a while, but like, you remember where we got the chicken coop?
Yes, that's that newer house.
Yeah.
And then the little shack that was right next to it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
The more you know.
Right. Well, then
I
so
pulled that fact out of the depths of my asshole. I just want you to know. See, this is why I'm good with trivia, specifically oddball shit like that.
So we saw that, and then there was like off in the distance to the left, there was another pacing figure behind some headstones off.
And see, our family plot is over on that side.
Yeah.
So
and at one point in time, it was like we were looking like there was just like a black curtain across half of the.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like you couldn't see any tree line, you couldn't see street lights, and there's a street light directly behind the cemetery that we were sitting at.
Yeah.
It did not feel comfortable. I was not okay with getting out of the car.
No. Or even really driving through it.
No.
Yeah, not even driving through it.
No.
But yeah, it was the weirdest thing. It was like it cut us off from the older section, which is where I would say most of the activity is. Like that's where I've heard like a little girl singing in the distance.
That was during the day, wasn't it?
That was, I would say like evening time, because like that was when I was doing a lot of genealogy stuff. And I was spending a lot of time out there, like gathering relatives' names and photographing for Find a Grave, that kind of shit. So I spent a lot of time in the cemetery, and then I got into photography, and it was just a lot. But I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean the older area or the older half of it was what basically chased us out last time. Like it was almost like we were being followed by like a line of people.
Well, and then it was like they all started enclosing us in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then
I almost forgot about that.
Daniel's hollering at him, and I'm like, he's not allowed to go anymore. He tried to push me into the fence at that one in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. See, that was
so you did go with us.
That was when I was like,
because remember we went and I refused to go across the threshold of the fence. And he pushed me in. I got 1 foot in and jumped back out.
Which one was
the one in the middle of nowhere? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe so. Well,
but yeah, that was when I said, that was when I decided he was not allowed to go back.
Well,
disrespectful and rude.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I went to push myself up and the rug gave out from underneath me and it like scared everyone. Poor Willow just took off. I'm sorry.
Willow.
Anyway, yeah, that night that we went in the one in the middle of town, we're walking and it was like, I felt like we were being enclosed.
We parked the damn car in the middle of it.
Right.
Yeah.
We're walking around and like I'm catching a trail on something and I'm like heading toward it. And then the second I get within a 3-foot radius of Josh, it goes away because he's inadvertently shielding. And I'm like, can you not? And then I like kind of step away from him. And then it was like all of a sudden we were getting enclosed in on. And I was like, oh no.
See, you know what I have the time for?
None of that.
Doing like deep dives on people who were buried on that side. Because there is a lot of interesting people buried on that side.
Okay.
I'm just going to say.
Okay.
Just to see, like...
So give us an example.
Would give us...
God damn. I'm like...
What is wrong with you? Anyway, but something that would give us an idea of why they would be so protective or, trying to enclose us. But like, I mean, for example, so the first graves over there was also the pastor of said church. They're right over there by my family plot. And then, I mean, my great grandfather, his brother, you want to smell it? His brother was murdered and he's buried over there. He was, sleeping with a wife that didn't belong to him.
Oh.
And the husband found out and walked up in the bar where he was at and shot and killed him.
Hey, I just want to say this real fast because it just washed over me.
Mm-hmm.
Are we even recording for real?
We are.
Okay.
We are.
Okay.
I got real paranoid. I got real paranoid about it around the 8-minute mark, and I was like eagle-eyeing it, but I don't have any like notes open or whatever, so yes, we are actually recording. Right. I thought about when I panicked.
Something just washed over me, and I was like, let me just ask.
But when at that 8-minute mark, when I panicked, I thought I should just gasp right now. This way you can also have a moment of panic. And then I was like,
a meltdown.
And then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be nice since I've said something about a fupa. Anyways.
On the way to the... No, I'm not. I brought it up the last episode. Josh, don't listen to the last episode.
Okay.
You were mentioned in that one as well.
Oh, shit.
We were talking about the Halloween party, and then the statement that I made on the last episode was, you ever have those moments where you've said something and then it wakes you up in the middle of the night and you're like, I probably shouldn't have said that thing? The look on your man friend's face when I brought up Gold Dick.
See, I didn't see the face.
I did. I saw it. And then
I was sitting there thinking, why are we having this conversation right now?
Well, it's like I said earlier. I was like, what made it worse is I needed all these context clues to remember the conversation.
My story had to be completely brought up again.
What woke me up in the middle of the night about it, though, is that there were children in the other room that heard the entire conversation.
And then you made fun of how much I ate.
I didn't make fun of you. I just said I've not seen you eat that much in forever.
In a long time, yeah. And
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No, eat that much.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
My tummy hurt so bad.
I just meant you were thoroughly enjoying yourself.
Oh, I really was. And I still agree. I don't care if that woman's kitchen is dirty. Them little sandwiches were good.
That's not saying that her kitchen is dirty.
I don't know what her kitchen looks like.
She's just saying hypothetically,
if I found out that her kitchen was a little bit dirty, those sandwiches were so good that I wouldn't care.
She don't know nothing about this woman.
Nothing.
Anyway, there was a lot of good food.
Uh-huh.
That goulash took the cake. Those cupcakes were top notch.
Yeah. The doctor's office also enjoyed them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, your mom texted me about it the next day.
Did she?
Or 2 days later, yeah.
I love that she waited 2 days.
Right.
That was listen. It was next business day then. It takes her, 1 to 2 business days to respond about anything. Unless you're asking her to babysit, and then it's like 30 business days. No. It's like I give her a month advance notice, and it's like, well, let me talk to your dad. I'm not sure what we'll have going on that weekend. And then it'll be like Wednesday or Thursday of the week that I need her to watch them, and then she'll be like, well, let me talk to your dad, and then I'll get a call later that night. Well, no, because we're going this, and so then I got to find a backup plan. So when we planned this trip to Vegas, I literally gave her like 2 or 3 months notice. I feel like it was a hot minute, and we had the conversation, and she was like, yeah, it's just, we'll see. We'll talk about it. And then I was like, okay, but I need y'all to watch them. She's like, okay, all right. So then I booked the flight, and she goes, I don't ever remember telling you that we'd watch them. And I'm like, I cannot wait until the week of to book a flight. So I booked the flight.
Right.
And then that was the extent of the conversation. So then I call her a week or two ago, and she's like, well, I know I told you that I would watch them. And I'm like, did you? Did you tell me that? Because those words never
I love
came out
her.
your
She
mouth.
is so wishy-washy. It is amazing.
She's so frustrating.
That
But then,
sounds
like, she'll blame it on Dad if the answer's no. Every time. She'll make Dad call me. Well, no, we got this going
that's because
on.
you're a daddy's girl. So you don't want to hear it from your mother. You're just going to yell at her. Your daddy will break it to you, and you're like, okay.
Listen, every time my mama and I have ever gotten into any kind of serious argument, serious fight over something,
Mhm.
she makes my daddy call me. Every time. Every time.
Listen.
My favorite, though, is when, like, something will be happening within my household, and I'll call her and tell her about it, and then she'll come up with some off-the-wall bullshit that, like, just, like, 2 days later,
Yeah.
will come up with some off-the-wall bullshit that will cause me to have so much anxiety that makes these situations so much worse. Like, Maddie had done something
Mm-hmm.
that she got in big trouble for.
Uh-huh.
So I literally took all she had in her room that belonged to her was her bed, her clothes, and I think I might have left like a book or two.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else got taken out of there and taken to my mother-in-law's house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when you can behave, you can get stuff back. You can start earning stuff back. So I did this while she was not at my house.
Right.
So I'm telling my mom that I've done this.
Uh-huh.
Mom starts texting me when she gets back. How'd she react? And I'm like, she really didn't react. Like, she just was like, oh, okay. And just went on about it. And so then Mom's like, well, just keep an ear out for her tonight because she might, what if she tries to run away in the middle of the night? I'm like, cool. Now I'm not sleeping for the next month.
Like, I never considered that fact.
Right.
But now I am.
Right. So then
I love the family we grew up in.
I'm like, I'm panicking now, and I'm telling TJ about this, and like, I don't know if he ever has, but I'm shocked if he hasn't, like, texted her or texted Dad and been like, you're making everything so much worse. Just stop.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole thing. I love her. I love her more than anything in this world.
I'm going to stand beside her.
I will. Till the day she croaks. Well, I say that. When she starts getting senile and we have to put her in a home, I'm probably never going to visit her.
I will say, though.
But let me add this, because y'all think I sound like a shitty person for saying that. My sister and my sister will attest, sound off on the socials, sister, whenever you hear this episode, because I know you'd be listening. We told her I was like 15, 16, we went on a cruise, and I told her if she ever made me go to the formal dining room on a cruise again, that I was putting her in a bad nursing home when the time came, and I was never coming to visit. And what did she do? We went back. So
I tell my mom on a regular basis that I'm booking Shady Pines.
Shady Pines, Ma.
But, like, what struck me as an observer under the influence at the Halloween party was how when you jumped up, like somebody lit off a sack of firecrackers under your ass when you realized that he had brought someone with him and you were introducing yourself and being, just hospitable and just a little extra nice, because we know you ain't like that. Well, then your mother sees this occurring
her mom damn near jumps the bonfire.
Right. She sees this occurring from across the way and comes running over there to do the same
Olympic
thing.
runner,
But do you hear? Did you hear what her point was? Like her quote unquote reasoning for coming over there was?
No.
That my butt was about to fall out of my skirt. It was a tennis skirt with shorts built into it. There was no danger of anything falling out of that skirt. And she knew that.
The Southern lady within her demanded a sacrifice of her running across there to go introduce herself.
Just making sure her daughter was demure.
Right.
No, that was just her entrance into the conversation.
She being nosy.
Because her Joshy brought somebody with him.
But
She had to make sure that person knew that she was down. She's an ally. She had to let it be known that she was an ally. That's her thing.
I was dying laughing, sitting over there looking at the two of you standing the same way.
Don't ever say that to me again.
Like, that's the first time I've ever, like, visually watched you and one of your parents do something exactly the same.
You ain't ever watched me and my daddy then.
At the same time. Like, I've never consciously been, like, aware of it happening. But as I was just sitting there, it was like watching it from outside the room or something. Like, I'm watching the two of you just be little, like, mother and daughter together. It's fascinating. See, that's when I say I people watch, that's what I mean.
No, if you ain't ever seen me act just like one of my parents, you have never really paid attention to me and my daddy being in the same room.
I'm sure I've seen it, but I just can't.
It just cracks me up that I'd just be sitting there and I'd just looking across the crowd of people there and I'd be panning across and I'd make it to my dad and he'd just flip me the bird and then go on about his conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty typical Tony.
That was hilarious.
I was like, okay.
Now that you mention it, that is also something you do.
Yep.
Like when Isaiah, he'll be, I saw Chelsea, she flipped me off. It's pretty rude. And I was like,
I've seen Chelsea and her entire fucking family walking through the grocery store parking lot with every hand had a fucking middle finger up at me as they walk past my car.
I mean, we do what we do. We do what we do.
Something else that was cracking me up about the Halloween party was Maddie gossiping. That was the funniest shit. And she over there telling probably the craziest story that anybody has ever heard. And ain't nobody over there but Trixie and
my friend.
Your friend. Yeah. And she, bless her heart, she sat and she listened to whatever bizarro story Maddie was telling.
Well, like I told you.
And honestly, I love that. I love that Maddie is like that because honestly, same.
Like I told you, she and my friend's oldest daughter are one and the same. So she's used to that. I was also going to share, and like, this was one of those I'm not crying, you're crying moments, and I shared this with you also, Josh. So I sent Brittany a TikTok the other day, and it says, if you ask me about my best friend, I'd tell you that I love her. But if you ask me on a deeper level, I would tell you that she's one of the smartest people I know, that she's shown up for me in my absolute darkest days and supported me more than my family ever has. I would tell you she is strong and brave and has grown exponentially and taken radical responsibility for her life and pushed through the shadows, and I'm so, so proud of her. I'm the luckiest person to call her my best friend. I hope I never lose her. Now, let me just clarify before anything is said, because I know something will be said. My family is not like that. My family has helped me through stuff, so that part of it wasn't completely true.
Yeah.
But the idea of it. So then I send this to her, and her response. Girl, don't you know I was sitting there absolutely zooted Saturday watching you flit around the party, and I was thinking this exact thing. And I'm like, really? And she goes, swear. And I'm like, I'm not crying.
Now, mind you, when I said this, I was sober. I was at work. So that's how you know I meant it.
Right. See, get you a real best friend.
Because I'm literally, I said,
the other part of that conversation.
Yeah, the other part of that conversation, when I forwarded this over to Josh, let me bring it up. Hold on. Now I got to go back and I got to remember that you've sent me 4 that I have to go watch. Jesus. Hold on, because I got to scroll through All right, so I sent it to him, and I said, "You don't send me sappy shit like this, bitch." He said, "LMAO, neither do you." I said, "Because you don't. I read the room and I return the energy given." He said, "Oh Lord, you're in your feelings. I'll send you sappy best friend shit, you cranky bitch." I said, "I don't want your pity sappy shit. I want you to know I ain't got one single sappy shit, because I guarantee you don't nothing sappy come across his For You page, period."
Not really a feelings person.
Bingo.
Those are two vastly different responses to that.
Yeah. This is the difference between a August Virgo and a September Virgo. If anyone ever needed to know the differences between, here is your textbook definition.
Or two, a female Virgo versus a male Virgo.
It is absolutely the August-September divide.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is absolutely.
Chelsea bitches about having those Virgo best friends, but she would not unload us for anything.
No, y'all just got to deal with my crazy ass Capricorn shenanigans.
But I also get those conversations when she has said something to Brittany, and then she comes to me to get my point of view on it, and all I get back is fucking Virgos.
Lord.
And then I get screenshots of what Brittany said, which is almost verbatim of what I said.
See?
I get teamed up.
That should prove that we're right.
I wish you hadn't have said that mid-drink.
All the time.
There was almost
it was
Coke
unanimous.
All over everything. Ziggy, you almost got it.
It was unanimous. So that just means we're right.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, everyone that's listening, if you need
I think that's obvious.
Board, get you a Virgo.
Yeah, get you a Virgo.
Yeah, if you wanna never be right ever. You could actually be right, but we will quite literally argue with you until we're blue in the face.
You're not right.
Until you believe that you're wrong.
Yeah, until you believe that you're wrong.
You will be gaslit.
And then the next day, I'm going to be acting like it was my idea.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I feel like that's happened, but I can't think of a single solitary situation for an example.
Hell, I've been in arguments that I actually hit to that point. I'm like, fuck, I am wrong. I'm not going to,
oh, yeah.
Back down.
Yeah.
I will die on this hill of wrongness.
I will die on this hill and I will take you down with me.
Or I'll just go, agree to disagree.
No, I actually saw something the other day that said, are you willing to die on that hill? No, but I'm willing to kill you on it.
Wait, so when you say agree to disagree, that's the ticket to knowing you've figured out that you're wrong?
Or I know that your mind can't be changed.
So when we're having a conversation, that's when you've realized that you're wrong, because my mind's going to change.
Sometimes,
now I know. Now I know.
There you go.
Now I know.
She's got one over on me, y'all.
I do.
She's going to blackmail me.
I am. It's going to Ziggy, if you don't stop licking stuff with your steak-ass breath.
I'm glad somebody else is getting to experience. God. I love that cat, but man, he stinks.
Listen, I wish y'all could see. She's over in her chair, kicked back with a blanket and a cat in her lap. I'm kicked back in my chair with 2 blankets and a cat in my lap. This is the sorriest sight.
Yeah.
Josh, we're trying to, listeners, y'all can help us out. We're trying to come up with, like a Christmassy themed topic that will be nice and cozy that we could justify recording from curled up in one of our beds.
Yeah.
If we did a visual aspect to this, we could curl up and just watch cozy Christmas stories.
Yeah. Like Die Hard.
I'm going to see Nightmare Before Christmas tomorrow night.
Yeah?
With the symphony, yeah.
Ooh, Fun.
I'm excited.
Tomorrow night or tonight? Because it's technically 12:37.
Oh, shit. Tonight.
Semantics.
Semantics.
After I sleep.
For 5 minutes, because you can function on no sleep.
Ooh, not me. I need my beauty rest.
I'll be lucky if I get out of bed before 10 o'clock in the morning. And
I run on black magic. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hardly drink anything that's caffeinated, and I function on 4 to 5 hours of sleep tops.
you live off of, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm trying to be nice.
Be nice. Since when?
You live off of freaking pettiness. That's what it is. You run on petty.
See? Same.
I like to say spite.
Petty and
Petty
spite.
sounds childish.
Yeah. Pettiness, spite, and
Rage.
general disinterest.
I'm petty. I'm petty Betty. Like, I literally said to somebody the other day, I'm the type of person that if I don't like you, I'm going to be overly nice to you.
Yeah.
Like, sickening nice to you. And then, when my opportunity arises to throw you under the bus, I'm going to do it. And it's going to catch you off guard because I've always been so nice, and I'm going to revel in the fact that you were caught off guard. That I just ran you over and then backed up and ran you over again.
Are we being too honest?
Maybe it's the Earth sign, because we are down for a long game con.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will put time into it just
Absolutely.
to make sure that it stings just so much worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I got to watch where we go with this conversation because that tangent that I was talking about earlier,
Yeah.
it will happen.
but like, I mean, yeah, like like, did I disappear from your life 5 years ago and you don't know why? And you're just like, okay, she's gone.
And then I talk shit about you on my podcast.
I'm biding my time, baby. I am biding my time.
I like how we talk shit and then all of a sudden that disappeared.
You are right.
What disappeared?
That certain person.
And I went to vote,
Oh,
and he wasn't on there.
Yeah.
What a shame. I am so upset that this piece of trash didn't end up on the ballot.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
it would have been. I'm not.
I feel
we're not
like-
going political.
I feel like the stars and the planets aligned and shined upon me that day.
Jeez.
And said,
That gummy is gummy.
hey, my child of the sun and the moon. Everybody's got to be included.
We're an ally.
Ally. What is it? What is that sound on like TikTok where it's like something, and this is my friend, whatever. She's an ally. Ally. Anyway, so the sun and the moon. I'm the child of the sun and the moon, and they just said, "Be blessed." when I walked into that voting booth.
Do what?
So you know what's funny after having this conversation is three separate people have sent me one of those TikToks where it's like where it shows like one half of the zodiacs per month or by month, and it was like, hey guys, they're talking like where he's talking about like fighting somebody. It was like, oh yeah, how are you going to kill me? And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to, but my buddy is. And then it flips over to the other side of the zodiac signs. Three people have sent me one today where September Virgo was the one killing.
Honestly, that tracks. I'm not even going to be mad about it. Ooh,
Yeah.
you know what I just
The
thought of?
office Virgo was the one that was like, "Oh, I'm not going to do it, but my buddy's going to."
That tracks because she's not going to get her hands dirty to do it.
Oh, hell no. I don't. Listen, when I eat, I look insane. Do you know how many napkins I go through at a restaurant?
Also, the sight of blood for her.
Oh, I start gagging.
Oh, see, I'm okay with other people's blood. I'm not okay with my blood. I do not see my own blood.
I'm very much not okay with seeing anybody's blood.
What does it say about me that it doesn't bother me?
Yeah, I could be around anyone else that they could sever an arm or a leg, and I could like pack it and carry them to the emergency room while the arm or leg is in my hand. It's like, nope, no problems. But I slice my finger, and I'm like, oh, I'm blacking out.
Yeah, I can't. When I go to get blood drawn, I can't look at it.
Nope.
I have to be looking away. They have to talk to me, distract me. I can't look at it. And what sucks is because I'm on the shot, I have to get blood work regularly. When I tell you, they tried to get a draw from my hand because they can never find a vein.
They draw.
They can never find a vein. They're like, she doesn't like to see blood, so we're gonna hide.
Yeah, it's blood with the addition of the needle going in my skin. Nope.
Yeah,
can't do it.
It didn't faze me. I'm the type of person that I tell the nurse which vein that they need to use, and then I sit there and watch her do it.
I need to get a tattoo, a little dot over here, because this is
poke here.
Yeah, because this is the only side and spot.
Yeah.
And one particular
the last
nurse.
time I went to the doctor, I was like, she was trying to draw blood, and she tried on my left arm, and I was like, you're not going to get it from there. And then she goes, okay, well, this one looks good. Let me try it. She tried and tried and tried, got nothing. And then I was like, you're going to have to, and I physically touched and pointed to the spot that she needed to hit. And she was like, well, let me try this other place. And then finally, she got blood from where I told her to get it. Willow.
I don't recommend the hand. That was awful.
That's where they usually do it. If I have to have like IVs or something, that's where they usually put it.
But I also have a scar on the top of my hand where they have to stab me every single time because they can never get it in my elbows.
Ziggy's getting real upset with me because I'm bouncing my legs.
I don't know. He looks fine.
He's already repositioned like 4 times. All right. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Got anything else to add? Joshy?
No, we kind of went off on a tangent there.
We did.
I mean, we did swing back by the cemetery that has the moving statue, and it was more active.
It did move.
Mm-hmm.
She moved.
It did move.
I don't remember anything else of significance.
I don't either. It was the craziest experience I've ever had.
It was.
It did fill that void in my heart for a little while. At least another year, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Another year. I want to go somewhere. Like,
we were just saying that. Like, go and spend the night somewhere.
Yep.
Because there's so many, like, haunted places, and you can rent them for cheap. Ziggy. But you can rent them for cheap.
I just ordered a map that came in. It shows different places throughout the country.
Ziggy.
I bought an ink pen that's the Grinch, and it's got the Rock'em Sock'em robot arms.
Yeah.
With the little levers on the back.
And Ziggy's in a boxing match he didn't ask for.
I'm getting Ziggy with it. He's purring about it.
He's always purring. He don't know what he's purring about.
Pop, 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 pop. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. And Josh, hold on a second. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials, such as Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok,
YouTube,
and sending us those episode ideas, pictures of Halloween costumes, or whatever you want to send us a picture of, as long as it's not your no squares. Send those to wanderersofweird
at gmail.com.
yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.